All right, in this training, we are going to go over how to use your watch list to monitor your trades and monitor your positions so that you never lose a potential setup and you always are following your trade methodology. So do know that this strategy is just my own strategy. There's many ways to use watch lists and monitor trades, but hopefully this video will help you overall. But before we get started, let's do a quick disclaimer. All right, let's dive in. So for those of you who do not know about watch lists on TradingView, what you can do here is you can actually create a new list. You may need the paid version of TradingView. Worst case, also, you can just use a notebook. You can use a pen and paper, and you can write these down if you don't use TradingView. But we're going to use TradingView in this instance because it's the most popular way to do things in trading right now. Okay, so what you can do is you can create a new list. I'll just name it test, but you can maybe name it your watch list. And once you have your watch list, you can start building your watch list. Now, what I like to do with my watch list is I used to just put random coins in there. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I like to make it a little more granular. So obviously the projects that are on your watch list are ones that you want to keep tabs on. So very simply, to add a project to your watch list, you can just click this add symbol. And let's just say, since we were looking at drift right here on Coinbase, we could then say add drift. So drift USD. We can then add that on Coinbase. Okay, now we have that on Coinbase. And now that's on our watch list, right? So if we ever need to hop in and find drift easily or know what positions we're looking at potentially, we now have this on our list. Now we can take this a step further. So say, for example, the reason we put drift on this list is because maybe this entry or this alert that was set here, you can see I have a line here, I have an alert set. Drift is pushing through that level. So maybe this is now one that I want to watch and is at a specific area. So what I can do to enhance this is actually create segments or sections. So I can click on, or I can just right click, and then I can add a section. So one of the sections that I like to add, and you can rename it, is entry. Is something like entry alert hit. Another one I like to add, you can just right click. Is close to entry. And then I believe just watch list. So I'll show you my actual watch list. So I have entry alert hit, close to entry, and then exactly just my regular watch list. So now I can get a little bit more granular if I go into this watch list. So since drift, say this is my entry alert and I want to start understanding where in the cycle of my trading cycle these projects are in, I could move this up and have this into entry alert hit. And then maybe, let's just go to ETH. So maybe if you're looking at ETH, maybe you can, in this example, maybe I'm looking for ETH to break above this high here and this high right here, but the market is close to this entry. So I can maybe then put ETH in here and put that under close to entry. And let's add that last one. And just regular watch list. Maybe these are projects that you just enjoy, you like them, maybe you're really bullish on them. Maybe I'm bullish on BitTensor. Maybe it's not necessarily close to anything that I want to take a trade on, but I'm just going to add bid tensor in there. So I can then add that in there. Okay. And then maybe I can set my alerts. Maybe I'm going to have an alert on bit tensor if it crosses its high, etc. And once I start going through these, say bit tensor is getting closer to the entry, it's starting to come closer to my entry alert, I can then start to move this up. So then it's close to entry. And then once the target gets hit, I can then move it to the entry alert gets hit. Okay. So now I can understand and sort very easily where these positions are in their life cycle. And of course, your strategy is going to differ, all this stuff. But, very basically, if you have a watch list, usually your watch list is things that you're bullish on or you believe are close to a potential opportunity. And by adding a more tiered approach to it, to where you have your basic ones, then you have the ones that are getting close to your entries, and then the ones that are actually hitting your entries, you now can be much more precise and not miss potential opportunities. So hopefully that is helpful there. And I'll just give you some ideas on my current watch list to show you kind of in real time. So I have my overall watch list that I'll start to filter through. So for example, we can just take IMX right now. Okay, it's on my watch list down here, but it's actually close to my alert target. So I'm actually going to move IMX today up to close to entry. And if I go all the way up to entry alert hit, for example, this morning, drift hit an entry alert. Okay, and now I'm going to start to watch this position. Whether you take action or not, of course, that's up to you. But right now, I can see, just for example, drift. Yes, it's breaking through my entry criteria, but it's pretty extended. Maybe this is one I want to wait up on and really see how it develops first before I get in. Or maybe I'm going to adjust this and maybe it's not close to my entry anymore. I might move my target up even further and I might move this down the list. So here's another one, Avalanche. The entry alert was clearly hit, and now it's actually moving away from my entry. So here I can actually maybe even delete this off my watch list because it's already moving, or I can put this lower on the watch list to where I can maybe wait for some sort of pullback, etc. So personally, I'm going to move this a little higher and I'm going to remove it. I'm not very interested in this anymore. Okay. And every morning or so, I will go through this and I will start to either sort on the percent change and start to look, okay, here's my close to entries. These are going to be my highest priority. So if I'm looking at, say, maybe bio here, coming closer to a potential entry, then if it hits, I will then move it up and so on and so forth. I'll start to go through these. Then I'll start to go through the regular watch list to see if there's something that I want to be paying more attention to, and so on and so forth. So hopefully that's helpful when it comes to managing your watch list here and making it a little more granular on how you can start to monitor things through the life cycle. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully you enjoyed this training. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next training.